What is going on, guys? Good evening. It's your favorite mortgage lender, Abdel Kwame, Got Mortgages, and we are now in 2025. I can't believe it. It was a phenomenal year in 2024. Wanted to do things to start the year off, really just to talk about some of the crazy scenarios that we went through in 2024. From doing FHA single unit condo approvals to having to really fill in the gap with a lot of different clients that unfortunately were previously approved with another institution. And we had to do a lot of different strategic avenues with getting the clients approved, going through so many different clients who were at one point going through the process. We ran into income hurdles, had to do certain avenues of rapid rescores, so many different things that unfortunately people are falling through the cracks. We've seen such a large number of homes come back on the market, which for some of our clients has actually worked to our advantage because it has allowed our clients the ability to be able to swoop in and really win the deals over that they just didn't have the opportunity to do so when they first came around. And we had great conversations with listing agents that they reached back out to us and asked us if we were interested in basically continuing and getting the house, which many of the times we were. One that we just recently closed the other day was a VA buyer. We actually closed his ex about 6 months ago. The client was able to purchase a home at 0% down, one of the benefits of being a veteran for serving our country, and only had to put less than $5,500 in order to buy the home. We gave him back a lender credit for a slightly higher rate based on his choice, and he basically bought the house, putting $5,500 up. That's crazy. Was also able to open up a interest-only credit card that he is now going to be able to use to finance some repairs for the home. And at the same time, we're able to get him a brand new car right before the process, factoring in the potential payment. We got all the necessary paperwork, closed, and the best part about it is he closed in less than 30 days, which was awesome. A different scenario, this was one that was really fun. Picked up a client. We closed him in 9 days. The client was with another institution. They just were not able to close the transaction. Income was very, very tricky. So we were able to kind of do a fine understanding of what the client's income is, maximize based off of the client's bonuses and OT that our underwriters were able to get through. We restructured the file. Clients put a little bit more money down, gave them a phenomenal rate, which brought their payment down, brought their debt to income down, had one of our insurance partners actually cut the payment on the monthly revolving liability, which brought the debt to income down. They qualified at 49.98%, which were right under the cusp of the max of what they were able to get on an FHA loan. On a conventional loan, and we're able to close. Different client. This was a cash out refi. I shared it with us. The client went from a rate and term refi. The client went from a 7.625 in November. We refied her at a 5.99. Cut her payments by almost $600 a month. She skips a payment. She gets money back at closing, and at the same time gets to essentially save $600 a month, which was phenomenal. A different consumer that we had, this was another deal where we had some issues with CO. Luckily, the clients, based on the delays on the seller side with CO, were able to switch the loan program to FHA. We initially had them locked at 7.5 conventional. When we switched it to FHA, we were able to get them locked at a 5.75% interest rate, which was awesome. And they were able to simultaneously close, get a lower payment, and acquire it. Different consumer. This was one that actually our first property that we went to buy fell through due to inspection concerns. We switched it to another one. We actually got the property and had the clients get the home and get the seller to pay the entire solar panel that was remaining and close on the property and make sure that the seller took care of what came at the final hour, this failed well water test. We did not close until that was taken care of, which it was, and closed the following day. A different client. This was probably one of my most challenging transactions. This was one that we closed in November. Man, I mean, from co-signers that were only authorized users, FHA does not allow that. So we had to kind of try to build non-traditional credit. It was not possible as they just weren't the ones paying for anything. So we had to switch the file over and at the same time really transition to take all the different avenues to conventional. We had the clients come up with the necessary reserves that they needed to and close. So many things that kind of happened behind the scenes that, sometimes when you look back, you don't realize until you look back at these times and you're like, man, that was a tough one. Another consumer, we were able to sneak in a few refinances during the months of September and October, which was great for our clients, and be able to obviously get them to the closing table. So a lot of different avenues, and I could sit here for hours and go over all the different scenarios that the clients are able to acquire. The most critical part when you're working is understanding what are the necessary closings, necessary cash to close, qualifications, income, assets, things on that nature that could truly kill a transaction. And we were blessed with the opportunity to have just over an 86% pull through rate, which means 86% of the files that we actually put through actually got to the closing table, which is a great statistic to look at because it allows us to truly be able to, one, wind back and find out what happened with 14% of those deals, where a majority of that 14%, I believe it was like 70% of them essentially failed due to inspection concerns. None of them failed from a qualification concern. And we essentially just had two clients who were able to find a little bit more competitive interest rate pricings with Happy, which we caught from the beginning. So many different avenues that I want us to make sure we take care of. I appreciate you guys jumping on. Looking forward to a phenomenal 2025. I'll talk to you guys soon.